Extortion and shootings are going on for too long. Many families, they moved out of Canada.
Peel Regional Police, जिन्ना कोल volume cases ਦਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ.
Peel Regional Police has established an extortion task force for the last 2 or 3 years.
Why can't we give Canadians a tougher laws so that we can also keep them behind the bars? It's a heinous crime what they did.
And this is just the beginning. We are looking to see the ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ support ਦੀ ਕੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ.
The issue of the extortion and the rise of the extortion, and try and determine some pathways forward and potential solutions.
Payments ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਇਸ organizations ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ.
Host immigrations are working here for last 3 years and without having a RCIC license.
ਬਿੱਲ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹਾਊਸ ਆਫ ਕਾਮਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਜੂਨ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਬਿੱਲ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਹਾਊਸ ਆਫ ਕਾਮਨਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਾਸ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੈਨੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ.
Today there was a summit in Peel region for summit on combating extortion. There are so many cases going on extortion. Every week multiple calls are in extortion diya. The families are scared, the families are worried, and people are leaving the country also for their safety concerns. Today, ਅੱਜ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਮਿਟ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ to stop the extortion, the crime ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ funding has been announced by the federal government direct to the Peel region of police. Approximately 1 million of funding has been announced by the federal government to the Peel police, and also additional funding has been announced to the province by the federal government of approximately 4 million. ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਵੀ 8 million ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ funding ਆ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈ. ਲੇਕਿਨ the question lies, the funding is there, but what about stopping these crimes, because it has gone for too long. Let's hear the report where our law enforcement, provincial partners and the federal partners, they have tackled these issues, how they are tackling the issues, and what they have to say on stopping extortion and crime here in Canada, here in Peel region. Let's see this report.
Today was a positive day where we had the opportunity with the federal government and the provincial government and various law enforcement entities that were here to discuss the surge of extortions that have been experienced here in Peel. We have seen the most in Ontario right here in Peel region. That's why Peel Regional Police has established an extortion task force for the last 2 or 3 years. But today was also about a discussion on what type of solutions between the federal provincial government can be looked at to make changes to prevent this. And finally, we were pleased to see an announcement of some funding towards the Peel Police Extortion Task Force, which is much welcome, and we're optimistic to see the future.
Sure. So the summit today was put together by Public Safety Canada and as well as the Minister Ananda Sangri and the Secretary of State for Crime, Ms. Ruby Sahota. And it was brought together to discuss the extortions in the Peel region with all levels of policing and government together.
The extortion is going on for too long. The law enforcement is doing their best, but do we need some strict laws here so that we can have stricter punishments?
So I think to be honest, I think the extortion questions for what happens in Peel region, it's a Peel Regional Police response that they do. But the purposes of a summit today is to kind of examine the issue of the extortion and the rise of the extortion and try and determine some pathways forward and potential solutions to this issue. So I can't say that it is one thing or another. I think this is the first in a series of conversations that we're going to have.
For the RCMP role for protecting our borders and everything, at the national level, we have seen that people, they do crime here, they easily flew out of the country. So how that is happening? How can we make our borders strong? What support we need from the governments?
So the RCMP's role in border enforcement is, we basically have the role of enforcing between the ports of entry, right? It is CBSA that is at the ports of entry where people go. But I think I think the key when we have crimes going on is that there is that communication between the various enforcement agencies that have the responsibilities. And people can be assured that police services across Canada communicate very well. And we're in constant communication, and if there is a risk of someone fleeing that has committed a crime, there are mechanisms in place that we can try and intercept that person before they leave.
Any message to the Canadians, because they are asking for the self-protection laws because they are moving out of the country because of the safety and crime issue? Any message to them because they are asking for some self-protection laws?
You know what? The police services in Canada do an excellent job. And they do an excellent job of communicating with each other, with responding to calls for service to the community and looking to protect the community. So we'll continue to work together and collaborate with each other, and also where appropriate, we will speak with our elected officials about any potential legislative enhancements that are needed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So a closed door session ਸੀ, and that's very, very important so that ਜਿਹੜੇ RCMP ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, CBSA ਜੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਸੀਗੇ, OPP ਜੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਆ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਐਕਸਟੋਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਡੀਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਵੋਲਿਊਮ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਦਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਕੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਸੀਗੇ ਇਸ ਐਕਸਟੋਰਸ਼ਨ ਸਮਿਟ ਦਾ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਜੋ federal level ਤੋਂ local police agencies ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ, but we've tried to figure out a way to do it. ਜੋ typically funding ਦਾ system ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਉਹ provinces ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, and ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ municipal police forces ਨੇ province ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ। So ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਨੂੰ 4 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਕਟਮਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ 1 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ, ਪਰ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਫੰਡਸ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਨਾਉਂਸ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਐਂਡ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਜਸਟ ਦ ਬਿਗਿਨਿੰਗ। ਵੀ ਆਰ ਲੁਕਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਫੰਡ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਲੋਕਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੂੰ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਸੋਲਿਸਿਟਰ ਜਨਰਲ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਪੀਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਨਾਲ ਡੀਲ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ, but we're also bringing other players to the table so that ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ removals coordinate ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਣ। So that's why CBSA was here, because it's very important ਵੀ ਜਲਦ ਤੋਂ ਜਲਦ ਜੋ removals ਦਾ process ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ cases ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉੱਥੇ removals take place ਕਰਨ। I know that you have heard of asylum cases being filed in Surrey. ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਆਈਡੈਂਟੀਫਾਈ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਿੱਲ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹਾਊਸ ਆਫ ਕਾਮਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਜੂਨ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ। ਉਹ ਬਿੱਲ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਹਾਊਸ ਆਫ ਕਾਮਨਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਾਸ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ, ਸੈਨੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਐਂਡ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੁਝ ਹਫ਼ਤਿਆਂ ਤੱਕ ਉਹ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸਾਈਲਮ ਦੇ ਕੇਸ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਰੱਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਐਂਡ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਗਾਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਉਹ ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਣਗੇ। So ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਰਸਨਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਰਾਈਟ, ਲਾਈਕ people I know in the community will reach out to talk to me about extortion cases, and ਪਿਛਲੇ ਕੁਝ ਵੀਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ I would say 1 to 2 calls ਵੀਕ ਦੀਆਂ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਸ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਮੇਰਾ ਵਿਕਟਮਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਇਹੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ that I know you're going through a lot. ਅਸੀਂ sympathize and understand ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਵਿਕਟਮਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਿਲੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਸੇਫਟੀ, ਐਂਡ ਆਈ ਨੋ ਪੀਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਈ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। So I know it's difficult. I hope and I know that most cases ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਆਪਰੇਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੋ। ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੇਸ ਜਲਦ ਤੋਂ ਜਲਦ ਰਿਜ਼ੋਲਵ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ, ਐਂਡ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਆਈ ਗੈਸ ਦਰਖਾਸਤ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪੇਮੈਂਟਸ ਨੇ, ਅੱਜ ਚੀਫ ਆਫ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪੇਮੈਂਟਸ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਐਂਡ ਦੇਰ ਇਜ਼ ਨੋ ਗਾਰੰਟੀ that people will not come back. ਇੱਕ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਐਂਡ ਅਨਫੋਰਚੂਨੇਟਲੀ ਇਸ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਡ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, UAE ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ। These are some of the places I hear people are saying they're going to go, and so I would just like to say that ਜਿੰਨੀ ਵੀ ਐਫਰਟ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ, we're trying to work and coordinate so that ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮਸ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਲਦ ਤੋਂ ਜਲਦ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਅੰਤ ਹੋਵੇ, ਐਂਡ ਹੋਵੇ, and so that people are not again feeling, so people can feel safe in their communities again.
#media. Question is for the minister. We had one of the biggest gold heist here in the Peel region, and Peel region is very vulnerable, and hats off to our law enforcement. But in the same scenario, one person who flew to US, he is behind the bars for last 3 years. All others here, they are out. Their trials has not started, except few court dates. 2 are still outstanding. Our law enforcement did their best to catch them, and yesterday one more mastermind, he came back. Why can't we give Canadians a tougher laws so that we can also keep them behind the bars? It's a heinous crime what they did. Taxpayers $20 million plus. And when can we give, because opposition and government is not on the same page for jail not bail and other crimes. Why can't we have tougher laws and resources and dedicated task force for the Peel region? Because our all law enforcement is looking for more and more support to tackle these issues.
Thank you, and let me just commend the work of Peel Regional Police and other partners who are involved in addressing the gold heist from Pearson and the most recent arrest that took place yesterday, which involved a number of different agencies. The issues around crime have been top of mind for our government since we took office. 1/3 of bills introduced in Parliament directly are linked to criminal justice and borders. In fact, the issues around bail, issues around repeat violent offenders, issues around consecutive sentencing, and tougher sentencing on issues such as extortion and other matters are embedded in Bill C-14. Bill C-12 is now going through the House as well, which has some significant measures for border and border security. Bill C-16 is now also before the House that speaks to issues of delays and Jordan delays in the criminal justice system. The work of the federal government in the last 9 months is unprecedented. There hasn't been this level of investments, which now total over $4 billion in public safety, coupled with 6 bills that directly speak to criminal justice system. And I would say that the changes that you're suggesting are very well underway, and we look forward to its passage in Parliament. This is not all. I know the province has also undertaken a number of measures, and I wonder if Minister Kersner wants to elaborate on some of your proposed changes.
Well, thank you, Minister. Our government comes forward twice a year with a spring and a fall justice bill, and we came forward just in December before we adjourned for the session. But what I can tell you, Nitin, is that we're not going to stop. We will look at every way that we can. One of the things that we came forward with, amongst other things, that will help prevent extortion is making the investments in the police services that we have done. $160 million is a big number, and part of that will go to support it. But I'm very grateful for the federal minister today to make the additional $1 million investment in Peel. Putting the more boots on the ground allows them to fight people that think it's okay to extort others, because we know it's not. I sat earlier this week with 88 new incredible individuals that came forward who will be the latest class to be badged, the largest class ever in Peel. That's because they came forward to the Ontario Police College and paid zero basic constable tuition, because the government of Ontario, led by Premier Ford, is investing $40 million a year just to cover it. More boots on the ground means the chief has more people that will help fight extortion and fight it hard.
Minister, you mentioned that extortionist victims are not alone. But in last 4 years, we have seen that they are alone. They are alone, really alone, because there are a couple of reasons. Extortion and shootings are going on for too long. Many families, they moved out of Canada. We have numbers and number of stories. They are sitting in Dubai, they are sitting in their home countries. Shootings happening, break-ins happening. Yesterday in Oakville, the car dealership was robbed for $2 million. Shipments are going with same auto thefts. Shipments are coming in with drugs, and we have drug outlets here selling drugs openly. And then Peel Police, they need funding. Mayor Brown also said that dedicated task force is required by the Peel Police. Tools are required, same as British Columbia. Extortionists, they apply for the refugee status. Big loophole in British Columbia. That loophole should be plugged in. Kapil Sharma Caps Cafe was targeted multiple times and his shooter was arrested in India. How come he flew over from Canada? Ghost immigrations are working here for last 3 years and without having a RCIC license. It's all on the public domains, and residents are asking, why can't we have self-protection laws, castle laws, if it's too long the extortions are going on and they need a castle laws and we can give them protection, self-protection laws, so that one life lost is too many. What is your response, because you are in charge of the public safety?
A number of questions that's posed there or assumptions, and I'm not going to respond to all of them, but let me just broadly say the issues of public safety, as I indicated, is critically important to the federal government. We have invested close to $4 billion in the last 18 months alone. In terms of bills, we have 6 bills that are going through the House right now that impact a range of issues that you identify. With respect to the work of those who are using our asylum system as a last resort to manipulate and evade criminal responsibility, the message I have for them is that as Bill C-12 passes through the legislative process, it will ensure that they will be ineligible to seek asylum. Canada is a country that is open and welcoming to those who are seeking safety and security as asylum seekers. I came to this country as a refugee, but it is not to be used as a backdoor towards criminality. I was deeply moved by the emotion as well as the challenges that many have spoken about. Not just today, but in the past several weeks, I've had a chance to speak to many who have been impacted by extortion. It is a cowardly act that's meant to insert fear in individuals. One, where families are impacted, oftentimes moving out of their home, moving out of their community, and with the expectation that they will pay. What I want to ask those who are the subject of extortion, those victims, is to first and foremost call law enforcement. And secondly, please do not heed to the pressures of these criminals. I want to thank them. I want to thank the families and individuals I met today who continue to be challenged by these threats. And I want to assure them that today, the 3 levels of government and law enforcement in Canada have come together to ensure your safety and security. We have seen unprecedented levels of cooperation that happened today, and one that has happened for many, many years. But we have strengthened that today, and we look forward to concrete results coming out of this anti-extortion summit. All of us here today agree that we have to stop extortion and deal with the bad actors who are doing it. It starts with helping law enforcement here in Peel, and I want to acknowledge the work of Chief Nishan Daryappa, as well as the women and men of Peel Regional Police, for doing such an important role in protecting their communities. Investing in extortion is difficult work that requires significant resources. As I assured our partners today, the federal government is keen to do its part. That is why I'm pleased to announce that the Government of Canada is providing Peel Region with up to $1 million to bolster the work of local law enforcement to combat extortion, support and provide services to victims, and build on efforts already underway through the Peel Regional Police Extortion Investigation Task Force. This task force provides rapid response while leveraging intelligence from federal partners, including the Canada Border Service Agency. The CBSA is committed to supporting the task force through the removal of inadmissible foreign nationals involved in extortion and other serious criminal offenses. In addition, thanks to the federal investment of over $4 million over 4 years through Canada's border plan, our government is establishing a new regional integrated drug enforcement team in partnership with the Government of Ontario and local authorities. And let me just take a moment to thank Minister Kersner for his leadership and our partnership with the Province of Ontario, as well as members of the OPP that are here today, as well as those who are working around the clock to keep Ontarians safe. This will create a centralized hub for law enforcement resources from multiple agencies and jurisdictions. These are concrete and coordinated actions that will help protect communities, including Peel Region, from organized crime. They build on other federal initiative funding for gun and gang violence prevention, tougher laws, and legislative reforms. Budget 2025 has also committed $1.8 billion over 4 years to strengthen federal law enforcement, including hiring 1,000 new RCMP personnel and 1,000 new CBSA officers. We've also allocated $390 million over 5 years to support provinces and territories through the initiative to take action against gun and gang violence, and $250 million through the Building Safer Communities Fund. Peel Region alone has received $8.14 million through this fund to strengthen community safety and provide young people with positive alternatives. We concluded today's summit with a pledge to continue working together to disrupt organized crime networks and protect businesses and residents across Peel Region and bring perpetrators to justice. To those affected by threats of extortion, please know that you're not alone. All levels of government, as well as law enforcement, the people here before you today want to help you. If you receive threats, we urge you not to comply with demands. Report the incident. You can also do so anonymously through Crime Stoppers or Peel Region's dedicated hotline that offers multilingual services. All of us have a right to live and work free of threats and intimidation. Our commitment to you is that we will keep working together to ensure that all Canadians have safe communities in which they live, work, and raise their families.
I receive at least 1 to 2 phone calls a week from people who get that call that they have been dreading. For people in Peel, it's not a matter of if, it's become a matter of when. There are 2 key takeaways for Canadians from today's summit. First, all levels of government are taking strong, coordinated action across federal, provincial, and local jurisdictions to protect communities and support those who have been targeted by extortion. This is a serious threat, and it is being met with a serious response. Second, today reinforced that everyone has a role to play, and that every organization at the table is fully committed to carrying out its responsibilities.
Higher priority for our government led by Premier Ford than protecting Ontario. Today's summit to combat extortion is an example that when all levels of government, municipal, provincial, and federal, come together with incredible stakeholders that work hard every single day to keep us safe, we will keep Ontario safe, and we will keep Canada safe. I want to acknowledge the work that CBSA does, that the RCMP does, that the OPP does, that our municipal police services and First Nations police services do every day to keep our province safe. This past summer, I had the privilege of traveling throughout Ontario and visiting many border crossings, and seeing for myself that when governments work together, we will be imaginative, we will be innovative, and we will make sure that a person's inherent right to live safely in their own homes and communities is upheld and fulfilled every single day. Peel Regional Police Service, our host today, with the federal government is an example of a flagship police service that meets the mark, that meets the moment of being innovative and imaginative. Our government, led by Premier Ford, is very proud that since June of 2018, we have given Peel Regional Police Service over $160 million to make sure that they have the resources they require to combat crime right here and to keep beautiful Caledon and Brampton and Mississauga safe. Under the leadership of Chief Duriapa, he has shown everyone who lives in beautiful Peel that they will not stop, they will not rest unless we combat crime in all its forms. You see, my friends, extortion is a way of creating more crime, and that's totally unacceptable. The proceeds from extortion exacerbate crime, and our government will, as I said, do what we have to do. We are a government of action, and when our government, led by Premier Ford, said that we would put more boots on the ground, over 2,500 new police officers came forward in 2025, over 300 of them right here in Peel.
Needless to say, extortions are not a victimless crime. In Peel Region, it has had a profound effect in deeply affecting not only the individuals that are the victims of it, their families, their neighborhoods, and in our context, a broader community. And Minister Ennis-Sungri and Solicitor General Kersner are right. What has made Peel Region such a vibrant and beautiful place to be has also allowed for certain elements to exploit vulnerabilities in our community. They are causing fear, intimidation, threats, acts of violence, and jeopardizing people's livelihood. These pressures not only erode trust, they damage the well-being of a community and undermines the security that is the foundation and the core of this fantastic country, and it's what our community deserves. For the victims, it's not just about money, it's fear in their homes, it silences people, isolates them, and makes them feel like they're facing these threats alone. That is completely unacceptable. Today is a remarkable testament to how, at a federal, provincial, and municipal level, across sectors, including law enforcement, that we can address this issue directly on. Here at Peel Regional Police, we have funded a 30-person dedicated extortion investigative team, which is our response, a strong response of dedicated individuals that recognize the need to respond to this trend that we're seeing. Extortions aren't just localized. In these cases, they are transnational criminal networks operating across borders, exploiting global communication platforms, moving finances and money internationally. And these networks take advantage of those vulnerabilities of geospatial instability, economic pressures, and the diaspora and the connections in these communities that are causing harm.